Dreamer of the Dream, Part 1. Heaven Letter number 5811. October 22, 2016. One of my refrains is, get out of the past. Let go of the past. Slip by the past. The past, which never existed, is not a place nor is it a time where you can really be. You can only masquerade there. Look, it is all a dream anyway. Oh, yes, very real to you, who are the dreamer of the dream. What you saw, what you felt, what you said, indeed seemed to happen, yet it all only passed through your eyes. Indeed, it was as if your heart bled from that which you see as tragedy. Or, indeed, in sunny tales, you became one big shining wonder. How full your heart seems, perhaps even over a seemingly small thing. How empty your heart seems over something that seemed like the hugest tragedy of all, until another event entered and overturned your life in another way. Ah, what is reality on earth, and what is reality in heaven? Two vast differences. Which is true for you? Here's another way we can look at this, which is familiarly called experience. Everything can be looked at in a different light. This doesn't by any means say that you are able to at will. This is also a possibility. You might, yet not so Johnny on the spot are you always. World thinking has its dominion over you, as you go along with it. You see yourself as moving around in a spectacle of life as you really stay in place. It's more that you ride up on an escalator that moves you, and you ride down on an escalator, for you are an observer of life as life passes before your eyes. It can be that what you call your life is simply what you spot. What you spot is called observation. From another position on the escalator you ride, you might observe other scenes and other apparent actions. It depends upon where you are sitting or standing. Here's another twist you could conceivably observe. This twist could open your vision tremendously. It could change your life, although at first, you don't see how. Let this idea sink in lightly. Of course, you have heard of different levels of consciousness. Now let's use another vocabulary, the vocabulary of dimensions. On where your consciousness is positioned depends what you see and what you experience. Consider your consciousness the chair you sit in. Dimensions grow from one dimension to another. Finish one dimension and go on then to the next. In the world, your tune-up completes itself over a long period of time, even as time itself is an illusion. We could also lightly say that from one dimension to another is like finishing one chapter in a great book and then going on to the next chapter in the great book. This is life in the world. It is a natural progression. One thing leads to another. In the eyes of the world, this is so. As seen from heaven, none of this is so clear-cut. There is not the separateness. There is no time, no sequence, etc. As seen by the world, however, each dimension has a sharp demarcation. Just as each individual on earth is identified by a name to make him exclusive. I would say that third dimension is the old thinking based on the five senses. In this dimension, only what you see is true. The fourth dimension allows for more possibilities. The fifth dimension has a much wider angle lens. You don't flick a switch to be in one dimension or another, yet you are, day by day, gaining your fifth dimension sea legs, as it were. You don't always know where you are. Perhaps you can start acknowledging that some of your personal observations of life and your life are still seen in the third dimension. Left overthinking. Then the fourth dimension allows more possibilities. As you rise to the fifth dimension, you may not notice it. You may think you are still suffering. It has been your habit of thinking, is it not? Old thinking. There are endless dimensions, even as infinity is dimensionless. Channeled by Gloria Wendroff. heavenletters.org